like Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Gaddafi was like, I want you guys to have your gold. I want you to have your own money. And they were like, we we can't have this. No, and they don't want Africa to be a self-contained, self-developing country. They want to run everything and keep all the black people poor.
Africa as a continent being self-sustained, better for Africa or worse for Africa?
Better. Because we have the knowledge, we have smart people.
Yeah.
It's just about having resources. And we have infrastructure problems. Look at Nigeria. It's China putting money into the infrastructure of Nigeria. Yeah. But hopefully it's on a like an equal, it's more of a symbiotic relationship, not we got your infrastructure, we take all your, you're not going to recolonize Africa, which that's important. But Nigeria, you never know. But why can't, like, Ibrahim Traore, he's like, we're
from Burkina Faso. Yeah.
Burkina Faso says we're building our own stuff. We have our own construction people. We're smart. Africans are the smartest people on the planet, and they're inventing things out of nothing. Why can't we have the resources and the infrastructure and see what Africa does? You can see in Sierra Leone and Nigeria how it looks now. Before you used to in the 80s and you'd be like, yo, it looked underdeveloped. Now it's like. You see architecture.
I believe in the movement of what the president of Burkina Faso is doing, because it is interesting to see I didn't know, like, growing up as a kid here in Los Angeles, I didn't know what the motherland looked like, and I've had the privilege of going to 8 different countries in Africa, and I'm going, wait, like, there is so much wealth here, there is so much like the smartness, all of it. It's just so, I'm like, I'm overwhelmed when I look, I'm going, wait, there's no reason why this continent couldn't be better. And then once I start to understand the history, and a lot of this history that I love that you talk about, like, once I start to learn the history and like seeing this stance, I hope that this starts to become contagious throughout all of Africa. So we talk about 154, one continent, 54 countries.
There it is.
If all 54 countries
it's a wrap.
Take part, say, hey, look, we're going to take our country back.
It's a wrap.
It'd be interesting to see the implication on the outside.
Well, the problem is also, like, Julius Malema, who I follow, when I was in South Africa performing for Mandela's grandchildren, I heard about this Julius Malema. He's like the Malcolm X. He has the EFF. He has that federation. And he's always been, they were like, oh, Julius Malema, he's crazy. I go, no, he's not. He's talking about the freedom of South Africa. He's talking about we have to get out of this apartheid mentality. So a lot of the Africans were very like, well, we don't want to talk too much. Julius Malema's crazy. I go, no, he's not. Now he's coming into the forefront. And everybody's like, yo, Julius Malema was right. Because even Elon Musk was speaking against Malema, saying, he's trying to talk about violence against the Afrikaners, who are the Dutch people that came in the 1600s, who have overstayed their welcome and need to leave because they got a town in South Africa called Orania that doesn't allow black people in it. They made a town in Africa that doesn't allow black people in it. So that
in South Africa?
In South Africa, yeah.
You go to the blackest continent to make a town that don't allow black people in it. It's some sick shit. It's still going on today. So
they just had a thing on it on 60
Minutes. And the problem with the African continent too is that they boarded, Europeans boarded off the African continent, where you need a passport to go to the next country. But in Europe, you could take a train from Italy to there. It's border free. But they purposely kept Africans away from each other to carve up, they had that big conference in the 50s to carve up Africa. And once we take these borders that they put down there, Africa coming together, it's a wrap. It's over. And they know that. It's a wrap. You get us together, whether it's, and you know what I love? That Ibrahim Traore is they had in Jamaica, they had big celebrations for Ibrahim Traore in Jamaica and all of the Caribbean. Because I think the reason why there's division with Africans and Caribbean is because there's a fear. Everybody's afraid. They want to see an example of, we actually can stick together. So with Ibrahim, he's so dope with it right now. And he has military backing him up. So he's like, nah, I ain't afraid of this. You getting out of our country. We're going to put all our people to work. Now everybody's starting to go, hey, So now it was fear. I think it's more fear.
Fear of what though?
Fear of it not working. It not working, because they always used to say, like, J. Edgar Hoover, who ran the CIA, said the biggest threat to American security is a black messiah. we can't have a black messiah. We can't have we got to shut it down. CIA purposely did that. Malcolm X's family is suing the CIA right now for about $100 million for the assassination of their father. They knew it wasn't black people, it was CIA. So I think that to see somebody doing something and really thoroughly going through the plan is giving black people hope. No. You know, what he's doing is so major.
That's pretty
so
incredible.
Once we get those barriers down and all Africans from different, it's a wrap and they know it.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to take a turn because my mind went to something as you were talking about, you know, like the African countries taking it back. And I was kind of going back to adoption. About there's so many people out there who've been adopted and maybe not have anyone to speak life into them if they're feeling like maybe othered or feeling like they don't belong or don't know their origin story because they haven't had the fortune to find their, you know, their biological family. What would you say, you know, to a kid who doesn't feel like they're wanted?
So I used to run an adoption affinity group, actually, at the Oakwood School. And all the students, we would come together and have conversations. And it was amazing. It was kind of like this incredible support group. And sometimes I would bring in an adoption therapist to talk to them and to their parents, who was a professional in the field. Yeah. But also, it's what I also share with people who are adopted, and especially young people. Sometimes we don't know the circumstances of our birth parents. And my birth mother had health issues, and if she hadn't placed me in adoption, I would have been without a mother at a very young age. Oh. So it's really interesting. We get so hurt and feel unwanted and so on. Sometimes they're violent situations. Everyone has a different story about why they're placed in adoption. And I read a letter from, and I told my students this, I read a letter from my birth mother, and my birth name was Esther Elizabeth. And she said, I want Esther Elizabeth to know that placing a child in adoption is one of the hardest things in the world to do. Sure. And she said, I want her to know that I love her and I hope to meet her in heaven one day. And one of the parents of one of the adopted students said, you always share about your father's side, but could you share about that letter from your mother? She said, because I feel like sometimes our kids don't know what the birth families might be going through. So I think that's what I would share with young people and adults for that matter. We don't know. This is when I come back to what people have been through. And reading that, like, as adopted folks, we tend to feel unwanted and we need to prove ourselves. We usually adopted kids, when talking to an adoption therapist, she shared this, we either become overachievers or we act out so much. I'm going to be so great so you love me and you won't want to replace me. I'm going to act out so much to see how much you really love me. Yeah. So there's like a thing that we do. A trauma. So what I'd say is, like, be great to yourself, be patient with yourself, and know that your parents probably did the best that they could.
Yo, it's finally here. Yes. We are dropping our lifestyle merch. 154 is here. It's hot. Come get it. Bam. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home.